We got Brian Horndove, everybody. Brian Horndove coming to the stage. Those are some sweet kicking pants, aren't they?
Waiting to file them.
Brian Horndove. All right, this next guy coming to the stage. We can keep this thing going. Let's hear it for Keith McManus. Hey, all right, everybody. Now, you know, this is my first stab at comic stand-up. And you mostly know me as a banjo player or fiddler. I tell you, it's really rough being a banjo player. You get all those banjo player jokes, like, you know, what'd the banjo player get on his SATs? Drool. Or how about this? The Starship Enterprise, you know, there's no banjos on the Starship Enterprise. It's the future. And how about this one here? What does a premature ejaculation and a banjo break have in common? Well, you know it's coming and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Now, you know, my sister is a blonde. And not only is she a blonde, but her brother is a banjo player. So she gets it double. And she was just on a plane flying from California to visit her banjo-playing brother. And there was some lawyer sitting next to her. And he's trying to engage her in a conversation of knowledge. And she's ignoring him. And finally he says, look, I'll make it worth your while. 50 to 1 odds. You ask me a question, I don't know the answer. I'll give you 50 bucks. You ask me a question, or I ask you a question, you don't know the answer. You give me $5. My sister said, okay, ask me a question. He said, how far is the nearest star to the planet Earth? Well, she just reached in her pocketbook and handed him $5. And then he said, kind of smugly, he said, okay, ask me a question. She said, what goes up the hill on 3 legs and comes down the hill on 4 legs? And he thought about it for a long time. Finally pulls his wallet out and gives her $50, and they sit in silence for a long time. And he says, what goes up the hill on 3 legs and comes down on 4? And she reached in her pocketbook and handed him $5. Now I know this leads on to other things, like, you know, for instance, Alaska, Sarah Palin. Well, you know why there's no banjos in Alaska? Well, you can't shoot a banjo from a helicopter. Oh, yeah. Now, you know, we're talking about Alaska. That's a big fishing state. And they have whales up there and stuff like that. And in fact, there were 2 whales sitting in a bar talking, and one whale goes, another whale looks at him and says, dude, you're fucked up. Now, you know, I'm kind of half the man I used to be. I used to weigh like 220 pounds about 5 years ago, and I went on a diet. But it was really hard for me to stick to any diet. My family found this doctor. He had this great diet. He said, you can eat all you want, anytime you want, and anything you want. And I said, well, Doc, I've been doing that. And look at me. And he said, no. He said, there's a little difference in this. He said, instead of putting the food in your mouth, you put it in your ass. I kind of looked at him, I said, hey, he's a little kinky, doctor. He said, no. He said, I've been doing research on this, and all the bulk, which causes fat, just passes. But the nutrients, which your body needs to exist, it all is there. I said, that's great. I'll try anything. I came back 3 weeks later, walked in the doc's office, and hey, Doc, look at me. I'm slim and trim, never felt better in my life. I dropped 20 pounds in 3 weeks. I couldn't believe it. And he looks at me and he says, are you sure you're okay? I said, I'm fine. Look at me. He says, what? Maybe you have a nervous reaction from the diet. I noticed you have a little twitch there. I said, oh, no, Doc, I'm just chewing some gum. Oh, come on now. Now, you know, in case you don't know my name, it's Keith McManus. I know you've been drinking all this beer all this time. You're kind of getting, you won't find a little box to mark. But my neighbor, Hazel, she's 83 years old. I live up the hollow, you know, 2 miles out of Core. My neighbor, she knows I'm a good guy, but she knows I drink beer. But she knows I don't hang out at the local tavern getting drunk with the guys. And she said, Keith, why do you drink beer? I said, well, Hazel, it's the only way I can get it in me. And then she says, well, Keith, why do you drink it all? And I said, Hazel, I drink to forget. She said, what are you trying to forget? And I said, I don't know, I forgot. Now, I know that this is Morgantown here, and they have that big yard sale every year at South Park. I was there last year. I found this book on Gandhi, The Wisdom of Gandhi. And I started reading it, found out Gandhi made his own clothes, that he fasted quite a bit. Little skinny guy. He walked around barefooted. Did you ever see his feet? He's got these big, huge, calloused feet. And I mean, they're gigantic. He walked everywhere barefooted. And not only that, he was frail and kind of sickly from all the fasting he'd done, and had a severe case of halitosis. And he was often referred to as a supercalifragilistic plagued with halitosis. Come on, you know, that was a good word. Come on. That, again, Keith McManus, my wife is trying to get me out of the house. I've been laying around eating frozen pizzas and ice cream. You know, works hard these days. You know that is. She's trying to get me a new career. Like, how can I miss you if you don't go away? And, you know, stand-up comics have to go away. Because you hear all their jokes. That's all there is to it. Now, there's some other things we should explore here. For instance, one of them is PMS. Now, you guys out there, you know what it's like to deal with PMS, and you women certainly know what it's like to deal with PMS. But you know why they call it PMS? Oh, because mad cow's disease is already taken. Oh, wait, guys, here's your savior joke. Here's your savior joke. Why can't men get mad cow's disease? We're all pigs. Now, let's extend this a little further. Why don't women have brains? Oh, because they don't have dicks to keep them in. Now, why do men name their dicks? Because they don't want a complete stranger making over 90% of the major decisions of their life. You know, I don't want to leave anybody undone here. You know, Mother Teresa, when she died, she went up to heaven. First night there, her and God are having dinner, and they're eating hot dogs. And she looks down below, and there's like a huge banquet, huge feast going on down below. Second night, she's having dinner with God, just her and God alone. It's hot dogs again. So it's down below. Not only is it the banquet, but there's a dessert table going on, too. Like, it's got everything, cheesecake, you name it, it's got it all. And the third night, she's having dinner with God alone. It's hot dogs again. So it's down below, they got the dessert table, they got the bar, they got the dancing girls, they got the big feast, everything. She looks at God and says, God, how come we have dinner every night and it's hot dogs, and down below they're eating all that good food? And God said, why cook for two? Oh, now, and you old people get that really good. You know, there was this old guy who was really rich. He died. He knew he was dying, and he was bemoaning the fact that he was dying. And he's praying, and this angel appears before him and says, "What's going on?" He says, "You know, I've worked all my life for my riches, and I can't take them to heaven with me." And the angel said, "Well, let me check with God and see what I can do. You've been a good philanthropist. You've helped out society." The angel came back a little while later and said, "God said you can bring one carry-on." So the guy gets the biggest bag he has and fills it full of gold bars and sets it by his bed. And that night he passed away. He showed up at the pearly gate. St. Peter's there. He's got that big bag full of gold bars. And St. Peter looks at him and says, no baggage allowed. And the guy says, "Hey, look, God said I can bring one carry-on. Check it out." And he did. He said, "Yeah, you can one carry-on, but I got to check the contents." He opens that bag up, sees all those gold bars there, looks at the guy kind of puzzled. And looks at him and says, "You brought pavement?" All right, guys. I mean, there's been a lot of great stand-ups tonight. We got one more ahead of us, and of course, the great roaster himself is going to be there, and he's going to roast Morgantown. But you know, I got to tell you that some friends of mine, Jan and Carol, have the Adventure's Edge over here. And I saw them the other day, and I asked them if they knew why all the lesbians in Morgantown did all their adventure shopping at Adventure's Edge. And they said, "No, why?" And I said, "Because they don't do dicks." My. Am I extending my time here? Am I about it? Oh, he says keep on going. You don't want to hear any more, do you? Keith McManus. I just want to, like I say, my wife is really trying to find me a new career. Hey, guys, how are ya? Woohoo! All right. Now, you know, I'm just trying to think of some other ones. I told you about this one. I told you about that one. And I just want to say thanks for listening today, folks. And there's one more comedian coming up, am I right? And they got the Jeff Ross show happening next. So remember, Keith McManus. Just vote for that. My wife will be very happy that I'm out of the house. But the Bob Smith, he says, all right, folks, thanks very much. Bless you. More time for Keith McManus. Keith McManus. All right, everybody. All right.
knock something down there? Sorry about that, man.
I'm trying to cut boards with it.
All right, we got one more comic for the evening. Give yourselves a round of applause. Holy shit! You guys are a tough bunch, man. Like just hanging out, hanging through us. We got the voting coming up next, so make sure you get your ballots out. All right, real quick, we got the Jeff Ross tickets over here. I just talked to the ticket lady. They got 175 tickets left before a sold-out show. So if you want to get those tickets, you can get them now for $25. If you're going to get them tonight at the show, they're going to be $30, and you might not get one. So you might want to get a ticket right now for the show. Let's go ahead and thank Lacey Neff over there at WVAQ for coming out and doing this event for us too. They're doing a wonderful job as well. There you go. And one more time for all the beers coming out here tonight, helping bring the Brew Ha Ha.